I'm going crazy. 무뎌져.
Strolling in your father's business celebration party, you are meeting your father's business partner and employees. It is the first time you took a part in this type of celebration as you just turned 22. Now your father wants you to accompany him in business affairs. Vi and Honey, meet Miss Lee and Mrs. Josh. Both of them are the leads of the designing team in your father's company. Your mother introduced you to them. You respectfully welcomed them. Lana was a pretty woman in her mid-30s, while Josh was a middle-aged man in his 40s. We heard from Mr. Lee that soon you're going to be a part of his company too. He nervously smiled and nodded. Your mother and Lana were talking about something while you felt a little uncomfortable. Turning around, you saw Mr. Josh staring at your legs. You gulped and pulled your frock more down. You're wearing a peach glittery knee-length off-shoulder frock while your slight baby hairs are placed on your shoulders. Ignoring Josh's 30 stare, you tried to escort out of this place, which was now suffocating you. You took a chair beside an empty table, sitting on it and gulping down water from the bottle that was placed on the table for guests. You flinched when you felt a hand over your shoulder. Looking behind you, saw Josh standing with a grin on his face. "May I have a seat?" He asked for the seat beside you. Before you answered him, he already said that. You grip tightened at the bottle of water. "I heard you are going to graduate from Seoul University," he asked. You noticed his hand that he placed over the table just beside your hands. Yeah. You looked here and there looking for your parents or someone you know to get out of this situation. You don't want to ruin your father's party. You backed off your hand when you felt him placing his hand over yours. "What are you doing?" He chuckled, making you feel disgusted. "I'm talking to you, darling. Don't call me that." You glared at him, hiding the nervousness. "Kid these days, you should enjoy this." Now his hand touched over your thigh. You slapped his hand away. "If you did one more dirty thing, I'll call my father and police." So she laughed and forwarded his hand to your hair, but before he could touch you, his hand was tightly gripped by someone that yelled in pain. Leave my hand." You stood up, backing off. Everyone started to divert their attention to the scene. Your body was already shivering because of fear and these stares. While touching someone's daughter with this hand, you're having fun, right? The guy who was gripping Josh's hand asked, gritting his teeth. "Why, and Honey, Mom?" You hugged her. She tightly hugged you while your father also came. "What's happening here, Jungkook?" Josh asked. "This bloody man, Mr. Lee, this was trying his dirty tricks on your daughter." Mr. Lee's eyes turned into piercing one when he saw you hugging your mother. He marched to Josh and punched him, making him fall over the floor. "I gave you respect job in my company and you did this to me in return." Mr. Lee was kicking Josh, but Chung caught him from behind. "Mr. Lee, the security is here. They will hand him to police. We'll see him tomorrow at police station. Please stop." Chung noticed how people were giving sympathetic stares to you and your father. Your father calmed down as security took the Josh away. He turned and took you in his arms. "I'm sorry, princess, but don't you dare to blame it on yourself. I'll teach that filthy man a good lesson." You nodded, looking down as he wiped your tears away. "And Jungkook," your father faced him. Now you heard his name properly and looked at him clearly because now you are a little calm. He was a young man in his 20s. His personality radiates confidence and perfection. His eyes met yours, but then he looked at your father. "Thanks for taking action for my daughter in my absence. I don't know how to." No, it's okay, Mr. Lee. I did, but I should have." He again looked at you. "Please take care of your daughter. She looks exhausted." "Yes, you're right, honey. Take her into her room." Your mom walked you to your room. In the middle of the night, you were still awake, thinking about the scene at the evening party. You were not worried about that anymore, but that guy Jungkook was now living rent-free in your mind. The way his silent eyes turned into soft when he looked at you. You didn't see these beautiful eyes ever before in your life, that now you are feeling an urge to see him again and look in those eyes. Thinking all of this, you doze off sleeping. Next day, you are sitting in your room reading another novel because you are free. Just your graduation ceremony is going to happen in a while. Just then you got a call from your father. "Dad?" "Fine, dear. How are you feeling? Better, Dad? Is something up? Yes, actually, I wanted you to accompany me in today's meeting. He made a lazy face, ready to deny. Right now, you will prefer your novel or that boring meeting, but Mr. Lee, Mr. John Jungkook and his team will be here in an hour for meeting. Okay, your forehead wrinkled hearing that name. Dad, with whom is the meeting? It's with Jungkook, the guy from the last night, honey. He's the youngest CEO right now, actually. I have dealt with his father too, and after his father retired, he's CEO now. You know, even if your father wasn't able to see you. Okay, I'm coming. Great, honey. Throwing your phone, you jumped off your bed, almost falling. Then you squealed in excitement, running to your dressing room to find the best wear. Reaching the office, an employee led you to the conference room. As you entered the conference room, were eyes-only room to find that one person, and when you saw him, your heart skipped a beat and your cheeks blushed. You also stared back when he saw you enter. His glittering doe eyes were now in front of you again. What more can you ask for? I am. You diverted your attention to your father. Meet Mr. John Jungkook and his team. We are doing our new project with you respectfully bowed by introducing yourself with a beautiful smile on your face. The whole meeting you waited for Jungkook's turn for presentation. When his turn came, you were astonished by how beautiful his voice was. Your new obsession was unlocked, his voice, to know all of him. After meeting, you went to your father's office with Jung discussing more things. Kids, I have to meet someone outside the company, so I'll take my leave. Your father stood up from his chair wearing his coat. No problem, Mr. Lee. I had a very good talk, just like Dad said about you. Mr. Lee laughed, patting Jung's shoulder. Jung, why don't you come over home for dinner tonight? Jung rubbed the back of his neck. Actually, today isn't possible. Today's mom's birthday. I can't miss it. He felt soft when he said that. These days, it's not common for kids to remember their parents' birthday at their old age and celebrate them. That's a good thing, boy. Then tomorrow? Sure. Mr. Leaf left, and now you are left with Jungkook. Actually, about yesterday. You tried to start a conversation between him and you. Ah, yes. How are you feeling? Good. Well, thanks. He chuckled, shaking his head. Well, what are you doing these days? I heard you're going to attend your graduation ceremony. Yes, I am. Well, these days I'm not doing much of just staying home and just here and there. Chung looked at his phone. Oh, it's time. If you're free, wanna go with me somewhere? You pressed your lips in a thin line as your cheeks turned red. Where? You will see. You nodded. He went out sitting in Chung's car while he drove it. From time to time you were staring at his side profile. You noticed a mark on his cheek that was barely visible, and a mole under his lower lip, and on the tip of his nose. That's cute, you thought. His another habit of tucking his hair behind his ear. Am I that handsome? His question made your eyes widen, and you looked away trying not to smile. Yes. He laughed at your nervous self. We are here. He stopped the car and he looked to see it was an elementary school. You saw Chunk open the car door and walk out. He opened the car door for you and you walked out too. Then Chunk walked a bit forward, looking around. Suddenly you saw two little feet running toward Jungkook. He hugged Chunk's legs. His age would be almost 5 years. Jungmina. Chunk picked him up, kissing his chubby cheeks. Your overthinking mind activated, thinking, what if he's married? Your dumb mind didn't even have a thought about it. You were internally cursing at yourself when Young, who's this Nona? Young, you looked at him when he spoke with his cutest voice. Young faced you with a smile. Wine meet Changming, my little brother. You internally sighed in relief. I'm not little, I'm a big man, he pouted, saying, Oh, little kitty, come here. You spread your arms for him. He looked at Jungkook, who nodded to him. Jungmin smiled and came to you. You kissed his chubby cheeks. He literally resembled Jungkook's eyes. You imagine how cute Jungkook will be when he was little like Jungmin. You guys sat in the car, going back to Jungkook's home. He said he will drop you to your home and then we'll go to his home. You were playing with Jungmin, who was sitting on your lap. Jung giggled when he saw both of you. You must be thinking, we do have a big age gap. You looked at him confused. Me and Min. He gestured to his brother. Uh, yeah, maybe. Just when I turned 20, my parents realized I don't have a sibling, and according to them, I need one. He laughed when he said that. And in a year, this little was born. You giggled as Jungkookff glared at Jungmin, who stole his the only child place. Who is jealous of me, Nana? Yes, I see Min, and I can smell something burning too. You winked at Jungmin, who sighed at Jungkook. You little, you made her on your side too. Don't worry, Koo, I'm not stealing your girl. Huron Jungkook's eyes widened when he said that. Yeah, who taught you this sentence? From Jiminy, he always called his girlfriend his girl, so why is your girlfriend too? You gulped, looking away. None of you tried to deny what Jungmin said. After a day, you were doing a little bit of preparation for John's dinner. Actually, when your mom got to know your father invited Chung for today's dinner, then she suggested to invite their whole family. And how can your father say no? So they all are coming to dinner now. Your mother was happy to see you participating in dinner preparation. She noticed a little difference in you whenever she talked about Jungkook or his family. You beamed like a bright star with a smile on your face. Mom, is this dress fine? You asked your mother while walking into the living room. Your mother slapped her forehead. Wine, this is the 10th dress you're trying, honey. I told you they look beautiful on you. You pouted. She walked to you softly, holding your shoulder. My princess, you look gorgeous. Stop overthinking. It's okay, Jung is going to like this dress on you. I know, right? You smiled but then realized what she said. Your eyes almost popped out and you ran into your room. Mrs. Lee laughed at your reaction. Silly girl thought I'll not realize what's going on in her mind. At dinner, your family welcomed Jung's family, and during dinner, you sat between Jungkook and Jungmin. Jung was literally glaring at Jungmin for stealing your attention, while the elders were laughing, noticing what was going on at the dinner table. You're happily feeding Jungmin while Jungkook was poking his inner cheeks. I see in future Jungkook is going to be jealous of his own children. Jungkook's cheek turned pink hearing that. I swear you're absolutely right. You didn't understand why they were talking like this. Well, I will love to say Mr. and Mrs. Lee that we really like wine. You smiled at her when she said that. And I will not hesitate to say that I imagine my daughter-in-law to be just like wine. Jung choked on his food and you dropped that fork from your hand. Oh, is Koo getting married? Min, not yet, but maybe soon. She looked at the traumatized looking young pair in front of them. Your mother told you to show your home to Jungkook and Jungmin, and you obeyed her. And this is our backyard. Wow, you want to see more? Be careful, Min. He really loves plants. It's okay, Jungkook and you were standing together as a cold breeze was hitting your warm skin. Your hand brushed with his, and you felt a current in your body. Do you have a boyfriend or no, never. I don't believe in this girlfriend and boyfriend thing. I'm only going to marry the right person. Oh. What about you? I was in a relationship in university life. Yeah, actually in a short time realized it was only attraction, nothing much, and broke up. You're not understanding, I know. That time is like this. Many of us find someone attractive and take it as love, right? You played with your fingers, looking at playing Jungmin about what our parents were talking. So you don't like me? You shook your head. No, I don't mean that. You faced them speaking. I understand what's going on in their mind, and I don't have any problem with that. But I don't know you personally. Jung understood what you were trying to say, but I'm forever thankful for the day we met. It was the beginning of us, and we didn't even know. Your breath hitched as those words left his mouth. You felt his hand snaking in your fingers, holding them in his hand securely. Your eyes traveled to your intertwined hand. Your mind knows what it means, but sometimes your heart needs time to accept, but your mind already knows. You can't express your feelings so fast. You want time, and he knows too, but it will not stop you from enjoying the best moments of your life. From the day I saw you, I did feel something that I never felt before, but Jungkook, let's take it slow. He nodded and looked at Jungmin, whose back was facing you both. He quickly leaned and pecked your cheek. Sure, by the way, you look beautiful in this dress. You froze while he turned to Jungmin. Did he just? You cupped your blushing cheek just and you saw both of them were doing some weird I shall leave that poor frog alone. He ran to them as they were trying to catch a frog who was hopping away. John Jungkook Bhattacharya, 5-year-old, fine, you will enjoy it. Come here.